gaming bets. Online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Starladder I-League Star Series Season 3. We are going into our final map of today. It will be to decide who our last round of 8 team is, actually. Go on to face Godsent in the round of 8. And, well, it's either going to be Space Soldiers or Kinguin. Joining me once again will be Just Harry GG. And we are taking ourselves into the 9th round.
Yeah, I mean, already we saw a fairly one-sided affair come out just now on Cobblestone and Mirage, which was Team Kinguin's map pick go the way of Space Soldiers. So it's been 1-for-1 in terms of taking the other team's maps off them. Now the decider is going to be Cash. Now, Space Soldiers, usually a team that's very strong on Cash, but also a team that's usually very strong on Cobble. It's just a case of, have Kinguin been brushing up on these maps in order to sock it to Space Soldiers in this lineup? And well, so far that's looked to be the case at least. Let's see how it fares heading into map number 3. We're only seeing Space Soldiers kicking things off on the T side. Kinguin are going to be over on that CT side. Now, Space Soldiers love the T side Cash. They normally do fairly phenomenally well on it. So let's see how it's going to pan out as we head now into the pistol round.
Yeah, it definitely looked like the CT side setups of Cobble, at least, were almost, I don't want to say positioned to counter them, but it just looked like they just enabled them to have certain positions such as drop. They were like, okay, you can have that, but we're going to nade it. We're just going to throw lots of utility in there. We're going to deny you plat control so that you can try and split, but by the time you split, you're already in such a huge disadvantage. It was very well played from them in the previous, but as said, you're to the pistol round, and it is going to be Furlan going for the aggressive peak.
Yeah, Major trying to make something happen out towards mid as well. Does force back Rallen for the time being. Just to clarify as well, the winner of this actually will play up against G2, not Godsent, but that's fine. Yeah, we'll gloss over that, Tom. They both start with G, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, you're going to be seeing Space Soldiers. They found a little bit of early aggression. Since then, have fallen away. Haven't got mid control. They're going to boost up Centaurus, but Rallen's there to watch, and he does have a P2K, which is going to be devastating, but it doesn't matter. Centaurus is a Glock, and that's apparently just as good. Down goes Rallen. Now these two players, Furlan and Mihu, over towards A, have to try and hold back the full tide of Turks. They're about to go raiding on through, and that's a terrifying prospect. Furlan is here, but he falls back on towards the site. Will just be feeling the full brunt of Paz as he finds both entries in towards the A site. Now Sparrow trying to retake mid. Centaurus, his little head just peeking on over. He has to fall on back, does find some damage, but mid for the time being going to be completely locked off, meaning both Mouse and Sparrow have to retake from truck.
Yeah, and this is going to make things very, very difficult for them. Just having no mid control in a retake situation should make it impossible. Just really hoping that some mistakes are made by Space Soldiers and maybe catch them as they look to fade away. Maybe worth just keeping the armor, especially for Mouse, who actually hasn't taken any damage to his Kevlar as of yet. Only a headshot hitting him, meaning that he will just be surviving in the corner. Also, a kid onto Spiro as well should be quite beneficial. Major is actually going to lose his life, and they're making a little bit of extra money, but he's just taken 1 damage to his armor and will, in fact, take the full life instead. Only Spiro surviving will, in fact, just go straight for the UMP, and that's going to be Space Soldiers 1-0 up.
Yeah, but they got to try and maintain this lead. We saw Kinguin. They're going to be feeling confident after how they just fared on Cobblestone. They will be force buying on down. Sparrow going to have a UMP to play around with. Mihu on the deal as well. Ship it at lockdown mid with this combo. And, well, you can see Sparrow's going to be pushing on up. Centaurus is boosted right now, but hasn't just peeked on over yet. Mihu going to be checking A main. And oh, down goes Calix. A nice 1D to kickstart this round. And that nade does so much damage. Just slam dunk onto Centaurus. Major now watching mid. with a potential push. It looks like they're going to boost up Sparrow is to check this close angles. And Tara's actually has dropped on down. Mihu just watching a main for the time being. He's already found one on the back of this Eagle Sparrow, and the backline's been boosted over, and down goes Zentares. Major not quick enough out mid to deal with Rollin, who is holding the close angle. Now lands that pre-fire, but still they've got an AK to play around with. They've got the UMP on a Furlan, and they're quickly mounting an Arsenal. Down goes Major as well. It's Paz and Despe 2v4. This round just slipping through their fingers. Got to try and get that bomb down and over towards A.
Yeah, not the way this one's supposed to be going. And that rifle into the hands of Spiro going to make things much more difficult. Had a phenomenal CT side over on Cobble. Only dying 4 times. Erlen will, however, go down, giving them an opportunity to get back into the side. They've got 35 seconds to play with me, who's still over towards Quad. May actually be cleared out. They're trying to use some utility to deny him, but at the moment he's still just sat in this corner. Spiro will be going down, but it's still this Deeg of Mihu that could be there to end the round. Should be an easy kill onto the bomb planter. Looking for the second, but Paz will save them. 4 kills is what it takes from him to them to actually win the round. And Space Soldiers just about get a second.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Paz just reminiscent of an entirely different first-person shooter Overwatch there. Looking like Reaper's Death Blossom, just pivoting around on the spot, landing headshots and wrecking Team Kinguin time and time again. 4 frags for him there as he saves that round for Space Soldiers, but ultimately it was incredibly close. Far closer than they would have liked. It looks like it's going to be a rush potentially in towards Squeak. Even out Team Kinguin, they actually slow things down. They have 2 players stacked up right now. They might be trying to just stack over towards this A site. 3 players here with the 4th rotating around in the form of Maz, leaving Sparrow alone over towards B.
A very small amount invested into this round of Furlan trying to pick up the Deeg, which was lost. It is actually a stack on this A side, but so far it's just been nice, easy cleanup kills for Zontares, padding his stats a little bit, trying to get that HLTV rating up a little bit higher. Paz will go down on the site. Major the one attempting to make some money. And in fact, they're actually going to lose a couple of players. So that's already not bad, considering the investment. And there's the 1 tap to finish things off. Zontares with 4. And now we will see the buy coming back in. Sparrow straight onto that AWP glass cannon, of course. Not going to see one on the other side. Obviously not actually making a huge amount of money in the last few rounds at least. And in terms of a kit, it doesn't look like that we're going to see one at all over on that CT side.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they can't afford to let the bomb go down. This time, though, a bit more heavy mid-presence coming on out. 2 players here in the form of Rollin and Mouse with the 4th rotating through. Actually, they're going to be playing the triple mid setup with 2 players to rotate quickly up and down highway towards that A site. Ultimately, it means that mid almost going to be entirely off the cards, and they're going to come out. Major peeks out wide, though, and down goes Rollin. So already this mid play going to be shut down. You can see that Sparrow is playing aggressively towards B, watching the angle. They can afford to have him solo here with the AWP, which does then open up having more players in mid and A respectively, but still. Right now, they've already lost a man early on. Mihu now having to rotate up highway, leaves mid a little bit ripe for the taking. Molotov forces Furlan back. He peeks wide. Is going to burn in the Molotov, though, as things heat up on towards this A site. Paz going to be the man trying to entry, and down goes Mihu. Maz now up the rotate over towards highway, and oh, that's going to be a collision. Zentares takes him down, leaving it all on Sparrow. 1v4 with the AWP in hand, who just looks to fade away to try and take it into the next round. And Space Soldiers aren't going to let him get away with it. They go on the hunt. Sparrow finds one, but then Paz guillotines the head of the beast. 4-0 as Space Soldiers find themselves another round.
Yeah, strong start on their T side. Not much of a response as of yet. It was actually the pistol round that came the closest in the second for Kinguin so far. Now, a free AWP for Despe is definitely going to help out that economy of the Turkish side even more. And obviously, there's not going to be a huge amount invested for Kinguin, as they can't really afford to. They'll go into the next round. Max loss bonus. Can get whatever they want on the board. Spiro should be able to get his AWP as well, which maybe even with some armor, that would be nice, of course. And in this round, again, they're just going to go relatively heavily over towards this A site. Gamble a little bit, leave mid clear, and just hope that they can do some more damage.
Yeah, 3 players over towards A, and already contact being made. Zentares, oh, he's going to go down. Furlan with an impressive spray from the CZ. Down goes, you know, almost the king of Space Soldiers But still, you've got players left alive who could definitely carry their own weight. I mean, Paz right now, top of the board, 8-1. Myself confessed favorite player on Space Soldiers is still alive and kicking. They spot out Furl, and he was using almost a bit of a new boost that's been employed as of late. You only see their head, and it makes it very hard to see, but he has to hop on down to reinforce the site. Down goes Rollin as Major finds 2 quick entries. Mihu with the Deagle, gonna be able to find one, looking for a second, but nope. Despe gonna deny that. Now it's all on Sparrow, 1v3. Bomb's gonna go down. And with only a 5-7 in hand, a retake in from Truck is going to be a very tall order. Despe with the AWP, just focusing on this angle. The crossfire's set up, and it looks like Sparrow just looking to try and do some damage. Does find one on a Calyx, so at this point, not that bad around, but this should be it. There we go. Despe with the trade. 5-0 in favor of Space Soldiers.
Yeah, still not able to keep these rounds clean, but as long as they're winning them, I don't think they're going to mind too much. They are 5-0 up. Double AWP in for Kinguin. Now, this is something I always like to see on this team because they do have not only Spiro as the primary, but Roland obviously joining from his previous team, where he was also primary AWPer. So they do have a couple of players who are readily available to pick up these AWPs. And we are going to see a little bit more mid-presence from the AWP of Roland. And then aggression actually coming in over towards this B side. Now, interestingly, going to fall back to the site, meaning that if there are some aggressive peaks or some nades thrown out, it could be isolated. And speaking of that, Calyx actually going to win that first duel. This is just going to prompt them to go very aggressively, pushing onto the site, already gaining so much control. Calyx gets the second of the round, and well, there's absolutely no trades until Furlan burns Paz alive. The remaining 2 players of Kinguin just looking to fade out of the round. Not really able to do anything at this moment in time, and this is looking like a sheer reversal of what we saw on Cobblestone, as Space Soldiers are going to go 6-0 up.
I said you got to watch out for Space Soldiers on their T side on Cash, and Kinguin clearly didn't get the memo. 6-0 right now, as they are looking to go huge here. They had a very poor performance on Cobblestone. I feel like we can attribute that to them. Normally a team that we see very impressive things from coming out on that map did just awful, in all honesty, starting things off on their T-side half. This time, though, Cash, a breath of fresh air as Space Soldiers 6-0. A very commandeering start to this game, and it looks to grow even stronger. Once again, the economy team King are going to be on the back foot. They will be able to force something up into this round, and it wouldn't surprise me if they do, but it won't be much.
Yeah, luckily behind them is the loss bonus, so they will be able to just drop a couple of rifles over and probably have one player just sticking on an SMG or maybe a pistol or something of the sort. So not going to be anything too crazy, but still a decent buy coming in behind them. Over on the T side, everything is lovely and dandy. They're going to be very happy pushing forward, and no surprise to see Kinguin pulling in a tactical pause. Now, clearly at the moment, they're just being isolated very, very early into the rounds. Calyx finding the pick within seconds of the first, and that was quite scary for them, as then the aggression just comes out. And this is what we were talking about on the previous map, which was something that was a bit more of a problem, was the fact that they're very sporadic. They're a team that's very good at just sort of molding around each other, and when you get that first pick, they're just going to explode. That's why maps like Cash work so very well for them, because they could just be very sporadic. This is sort of a map that we talk about being a tactical sleeper almost. Like, there are ways you can play this very tactically, but you see a lot of teams that just have a very good trading and a very good core lineup, able to just absolutely frag their way through this map. And that's all we're seeing at the moment, just hitting those headshots, winning those duels, and destroying Kinguin in almost every opportunity.
I mean, yeah, the worrying thing is what else can Kinguin do, right? They've got 2 guys watching mid right now. 1 playing highway for the fast rotate up towards A, and then 2 on A itself. So effectively, 4 players over towards that A site, or at least within earshot to rotate very, very quickly. How can they, stop that A site just being demolished time and time again any more than what they already are? Sparrow's been soloing B since the start of the game. And well, this time, a change of pace from Space Soldiers. And that could work in Kinguin's favor. It looks like they want to turn their attention towards mid. Actually, they rotate all 3 players they had in mid out, leaving only those here. They look to go aggressive in towards A main instead. Pop Flash comes in, they clear it out, and actually now they're going to realize that mid's the order of the day. Suddenly, Mao's going to be feeling a little bit hot under the collar as he's about to get pushed by a multitude of these Space Soldiers players.
Yeah, he's actually going to fade back into the vent. I think this is the right decision to make. Unfortunately, he's actually going to be popped by that Molotov, leaving him, I suppose, available to actually fall out of it very, very quickly, but the likelihood of them actually challenging for mid control is going to be very difficult. Now, Furlan may have to make some ridiculous plays. Although he's actually going to give back up main control. Clearly not feeling that it was worth having at this point in time, but considering there's still a likelihood that they will push in, that could have been very, very valuable, especially considering how badly they've actually been doing at holding onto this site. Now, with mid control in the hands of Major, things are about to become quite a bit more difficult. If he gets this first frag, things could go wrong from here, and he doesn't even just get the first. He gets 2 instant headshots onto the site, leaving just the rotators to try and stop this. The bomb is going to be a little bit delayed on death space, so maybe there's a chance, especially with Mouse tapping away, getting 1. However, he's not going to be able to stop the cross. Zontaras up close as well is going to make things ever more difficult. Although he's low, it doesn't matter. He still gets 1, leaving Spiro to try and clutch versus 2.
Yeah, like you said, all down to the rotators at this point. Rotators looking more like potators as they go down like a sack of spuds. Deathsvader find that frag, and that's going to put Space Soldiers now 7 frags. 7 frags? Oh my god, 7 rounds to none. As Team Kinguin are going to be at the mercy of a weakened economy once again, just force buying down. This could be Space Soldiers to find themselves an 8th. Kinguin still no remedy to the affliction that is Space Soldiers right now.
Yeah, they're having major problems and looking pretty desperate.
I'm just going to let that one sit. I don't even know how to follow that up. I feel like my heart's gone limp. This could be the end. But tell you who doesn't get to escape. It is going to be Kinguin, as they force ball down on what they can. Calyx will be watching the aggression over towards A main, and it looks like once again they're just going to split out on towards this A site. They've even got Despe all the way back in T spawn to watch the aggression from B. Now this angle with the AWP, one that you could very easily shut down any sort of aggression, but it doesn't look like Kinguin are going to give it to them. Instead, they're playing things a lot more passively. 3 players over towards this A site. Space Soldiers, though, grabbing control of mid, and only Ralin here. They're just watching the angle. If he peeks on out, he will go down, as there's 2 crosshairs just trained in on his position.
Still 50 seconds left on the clock. They have been leaving these rounds pretty late, in fact, on the Space Soldier side, but there hasn't been much of a return even when they have done this. 3 players actually sat quite deep into the A site. This time it's going to be the entry onto the B site, leaving, well, actually no one. Ralin sat in Z Connector, and they just have the site to themselves. Finally, they switch things up, and this is the problem. When you hit A every single round, the second you hit B, there's no way that they're going to be ready for it, especially when there's pistols. You've just got to assume that they're going to gamble, and well, with 1 player there, Spiro goes down. Mouse will actually manage to get 1 attempting this retake. Obviously, they don't have a whole lot to lose in this scenario. They're going to have a decent buy coming back in. The loss bonus is more than built up for them to continue to buy, so they may as well just try and do as much damage as they can, although even damage at this point with Despe on $13,450, the likelihood is they're still going to be able to buy very, very comfortably.
Yeah, that smoke just denying any entry into the site. They're looking to try and do some damage, as you said, but even that's not really worth much here. And while Furling goes out wide for the peak, as does Maraz, they're making quick work of these actually retreating Turkish players, being able to find 1, finally gonna get traded out. Major still on the site, causing some havoc, and down it goes Ralin and Furlan. Gonna get tagged by his teammate, but does still save up the AWP, but no, not gonna manage to escape, but he throws it. His dying wish is that the AWP is carried forward by Paz. And he does so. That's going to be 8-0. Space Soldiers saving the AWP. Still have a very strong economy. A couple of players trailing behind in terms of their money, but Death Space somehow just accruing almost $11,000. The bank of Space Soldiers right now. And Team Kinguin, well, they're going to be buying on down. A double AWP setup now in play. Mihu and Sparrow. This could be the change they needed.
Double AWP setup once again. It didn't work previously as they got isolated way too quickly. And back to A it is. B side already. Mihu goes down. That was seconds into the round. I don't even think we hit 20 seconds on the clock. He's already dead. Zontaras with the entry. Furlan, well, he's got a lot to do, and already Zontaras gets the second. The man is back on the board, leaving just 1 on the site. Paz to finish, and well, they sort of switch it up. They throw a spanner in the works. They go, hey, you know what? We can go B as well, guys. You know, Kinguin, we can take your B site away. So Kinguin go, you know what? We better be a bit careful this time. And they go straight back to A. They slam it down. And they're going to be 9-0 up before anything can be done.
And there we go. Can't even save the AWP and the M4. Down goes Mowers and Sparrow. 9-0 to Space Soldiers right now. The 16-0 dream looking well and truly alive here for Space Soldiers.
You
And
never
I said it
comment
because
on it.
I don't
You
want to
never-
see it happen. I want to see Kinguin find at least a couple of rounds. This is a slaughter, Tom. This isn't right.
You've ruined the chat streams, at least.
But anyway, dreams, regardless of whether or not they are soiled or not, we'll find out. As Space Soldiers try and grab mid control once more. Mihu to find one, and this is it, Tom. This is how it happens. The caster's curse. Already the first frag going the way of Team Kinguin. They boost on up another player. Calyx this time to try and refrag, and Mihu's still here with the Deagle, a huge threat. Spots Calyx, he knows he's boosted, and oh, there's gonna go down. The trade comes through. Back into a 4-on-4. Equalized on out, and now Space Soldiers making their way over towards A. Once again, who'd have thought it? Mouse and Furlan here to try and hold this back, and well, Calyx just lining them up, knocking them down in mid. Out goes Rollin, as now they take the man advantage.
Yeah, playing very, very slowly at the moment, just utilizing the long range, well, weaponry that they have at the moment. The pistols, not quite going to be able to do as much damage. They do have a couple of players over towards this A site, hoping they can do something with the CZs, but really they're just waiting to see if there's any more aggression, any more information gathered by this CT side, which normally involves them losing their heads. And, well, at least Sparrow has a chance. The bomb is rotating into his position, but this is exactly what they were waiting for. This is why they played things so patiently, so that a player would do something of the sort, and Major can finish him off.
And like the rotate's gonna be coming through, but Calyx is just ready. Furlan walks out unknowingly into the waiting arms of Space Soldiers. Down he goes now. Might as well to find one and retort at least. It's gonna be a 1v3, but Daspe's here to trade things out straight away. No save for you. Down it goes, Mouse, and that's gonna be a 10th round bagged for Space Soldiers. Kinguin yet to find anything. And at this point, if I ask you to paint me a picture of Team Kinguin, you may as well just paint the Eiffel Tower, because these guys are looking tilted. Oh, right, 10-0, Space Soldiers are going to find themselves with a very hearty lead.
The Eiffel Tower?
No, I meant, oh god, I meant the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It was such an easy bad joke. Oh no, Tom, we never speak of this again. We never speak of this again. 10-0, Space Soldiers. Aren't they doing fantastic, Tom? Already though, Furlan to find one. Calyx going to go down, and oh no, my career is over.
I was so confused. It's like, the Eiffel Tower is straight.
No!
Oh, God. Yeah. I can't even recover from that. Double orbs.
No, okay.
Starting well. Furlan, through the smoke, will get himself a second. Looking to bring the caster curse to light. Just remember, at JustHarry GG for ruining the 16-0 dream. We are going to have the push coming back in. Minute left on the clock. They're all going to be barreling through that smoke. Zontara is still looking to try and keep it alive. Paz will be boosted up, but Furlan is aware. This AWP doing all of the work at this point in time. Mihu to add another, and the curse is complete. Zontara's will fall, and the 1 enters the board.
And this is it. This is the comeback beginning now for Team Kinguin. We're going to see a 16-10 score. No, okay, I don't know if that's going to be the case, but still, they're going to have money to buy on down. Furlan going to have the AWP in hand. Just see if that does get thrown over to Sparrow, but they might be playing off the spawn. And no, I mean, Sparrow actually had the best spawn, so they're just going to double AWP it. There you go, that makes sense. We're going to be seeing 2 AWPs still in play for Team Kinguin. Don't know why I thought one of them would have disappeared, but oh well. Sparrow with the aggressive peek over towards B. Daspe is there on the corner to try and counteract his AWP counterpart for the side of Team Kinguin. And well, mid-aggression coming out potentially from Space Soldiers here, as you can see. Major looking to try and make his way on out. They have got Rollin there to watch it. No player boosted up just yet, but it looks like they might... No, Deathray just going to walk on by. Instead, going to try an entry out towards A.
Just want to point out, if anybody caught the Eiffel Tower thing, please tweet it at me at Tombiz14. I want to keep that forever.
Don't worry, it's already on Reddit. It's all good.
I will be saving that as an ever reminder whenever I make a mistake. Either way, Mihu. He's going to be pushing through the smoke. Calyx is unaware, but Calyx still wins the duel. Mihu, what just happened? How do you not get that kill? It's going to leave Furlan on the site, isolated, pushed out. Zontaris through the smoke, and, well, maybe it is just a one and done. Mao's trying his best to rectify some mistakes of his teammates. Rollin going to look to just pick up this AK, and I think they're already falling back to try and save. They're happy with the one. And Well, this is very, very problematic now. Even the money's going to be up against them.
Yeah, Rollins trying to save it towards mid, but Calix is going on the hunt and he might discover him. Actually, should get rallied in the back, but Rollins just going to let them cross. Does find Calix, but now very, very quickly to pivot round. Pass to try and get it, but can't quite connect. Rollins quicker on the trigger. Going to be on 3 frags. It's a shame because it's a nice 3k as well, but ultimately going to have very little impact here aside from padding those stats. I mean, he had no kills up until now. Finally going to pick up his first 3 all in one round. Make that 4 actually as Despe goes down as well, but still 11-1. Space Soldiers incredibly strong lead right now, and they're looking to try and extend it that much more. Kinguin can buy down once again. There's a bit of a saving grace, a diamond amongst the turds, if you will. But still, Space Soldiers, I mean, they've got so much money built up in their accounts. It is looking to be a little bit low right now, but they should still be able to buy into the next round regardless.
Yeah. 11-1. This could be the last-ditch effort of Kinguin to have any sort of saving grace. Seen a 14-2 comeback from Fnatic Academy going onto the T side before. But if Space Soldiers were to let that slip, especially considering their record on this map, I would be very, very surprised. Despe, Rarlan facing off in middle. No one going down as of yet. Utility expended in an attempt to take control. They do have players around Vent, but nobody actually in it, so not going to be cleared out anyway. There's no one there once again. Quite a lot of players gathering up over towards this A side. Calix straight through the smoke. Catches out Furlan. No idea what that was, but either way, it's been traded out. Rotation once again, quickly over towards this A side, but it's on Torres. He catches 2 from Highway, looking to end this here and now. Spiro and Mouse again looking to just try and save the weaponry. Living on the edge, and well, Space Soldiers looking phenomenal.
You know, I'm just already trying to think, what iconic landmarks can I mix up next? Who knows? Mouse and Sparrow trying to save over here towards B. And Space Soldiers looking to try and not let them do this. Now, the thing is, they don't really have too much money on this side of Space Soldiers ready to go in for these hunts. I mean, ultimately, don't get me wrong, it does benefit them more if they take the guns out of the hands of Team Kinguin. But still, I mean, Despe really can't afford to lose the AWP, or else they won't have one. Oh, no, they will. Despe's got plenty of cash, but still. It's a little bit risky. Mal's going to go down, and Sparrow's on the site. We'll be able to find that one. Despe doesn't want to risk over the peak, but never mind, he will, and he goes down as well. They do a lot of damage to the side of Space Soldiers. Thankfully, you have got Despe with plenty of money, as does Paz. So we'll be able to buy down, no problem. The only issue is they've kind of set themselves up nicely to potentially have their economy reset on the T side, which could allow Team Kinguin to find themselves with 3 rounds, which would at least deny the instant win on the back of the pistol. But, I mean, still. Swings and roundabouts at this point.
Yeah, Spiro going to have to make more than a hero play to be able to bring this one back. Goes for the spam through the smoke. Doesn't quite manage to find anything as of yet. This time they're looking to head their way over towards B. They throw this in every once in a while just to try and catch off the remaining CT players. Mao's going to be playing up close. Is in a decent position. Looks for the first. Can't get anything. Santaris denies him. This guy is just playing out of his mind at the moment. Spiro on the site with the AWP. Still somehow surviving. I don't really know what's going on. Nature going to go straight through the smoke, though. Entries. Finally, they get rid of one, but actually it's going to go down to a 2 versus 2 for them picking up a weapon. Keeping things at least a little bit closer. Paz and Calix, full HP. They've got quite a bit of utility to play with as well. And actually, the bomb's going rotating because Calix was the lurker, and he's got A.
Yeah, he can also potentially deal with that. Furlan on that rotate back around as he does push on up. Calix going to be in a great spot to shut this down, just biding his time over at Truck. And if he peeks wide, that's Furlan a fool. And now it's all on Rallen. 1v2. You heard him over towards Highway. That Molotov going to leave him burning. And actually, oh, Calix had to go for the fancy. I don't even know what was that. Like 360-degree pivot on the spot. Backflip and then find the frag. 13-1. The style points, the round. It all goes the way of Space Soldiers.
Yeah, it seems to be the case at this moment in time. 13-1. Wow, what a turnaround. Maybe they'll get the last round and it will be similar to what we saw on Cobblestone, but Cash is looking like a completely different story. don't really know what Kinguin can even hope to do in this sort of position. They're going to go very aggressive, looking to challenge these players in A main, and they're doing a decent job of it so far, although Calix will still keep it even. In the meantime, they still have presence from Paz over towards Squeaky. So the remaining players do have to be very, very careful. They're looking to just smoke him out of position, and Mouse will actually find another into middle as well. Major evens up the scoreline. 3 versus 3, but actually, this is one of the better rounds they've had. They're doing quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, it is going to be a 2-on-3. Paz and Major still very much alive and kicking, though. Paz going to fall over in mid, and that is bombed down. Now Major is alone over towards B. Has to try and grab this bomb, and everyone from Kinguin just rotating around and watch it. All they have to do is set up a crossfire. This should be an unlosable scenario here, unless Major can really make some magic happen. Rallen going to go aggressive, and actually this could punish them in a big way as he peeks out around. Does catch Major, switching to the utility, and luckily enough we're able to pick that up. 2-13, but still, this should very easily get the way of Space Soldiers. All they have to do is pick up the pistol. Still, that you cannot count Kinguin out just yet. They had a very, very strong performance in the last map. Their T side could be incredible.
Hey, you really are clutching at straws, aren't you? Their T side could be incredible. Still haven't been sent that clip. Well, I want to see it. Reddit lied to me.
I just want to put it out there. The one person who put it on Reddit actually linked to the stream, didn't clip it, so I live to fight another day.
I could just go back through the VOD and find it.
That is too much effort.
I think it's worth it. That was beautiful. Just remember the leaning Eiffel Tower.
2-13 now, and here we go. Space Soldier's going to be on the CT side. We can see that Kinguin just going to rush out towards his A side. They've actually stacked B. Only Zantara's over here towards A, and he peeks in towards A main. Spots that Maz. The rotate should be coming on through, but for the time being, they've left him high and dry over towards the A site. Still 2 players over on B. The rotate is coming in from Major at least. Zantara's now trying to cover this from Highway. Can't find anything through the smoke just yet. Major might be able to, though. Might have more luck. Can't quite connect anything. Bomb's going to go down. The rotate only just making its way on through from B. Zantara's able to find one. Furlan bites the dust, and now it's a 4-on-5 retake to ensue.
CT side don't have a kit. They've got to make their way back in relatively quickly, looking to try and get back. And already Mihu will go down. Rallen actually stuck in Squeaky. Not the best position, but he will be able to get a couple, doing a lot of damage. It's him and Spiro to try and save this for his team. And now all down to Major. Doesn't have anything to play with other than his USP. Gets the first, looking for the second as well, but I don't think he has enough time anyway. Bomb not going to be defused at this point, and he will just have to run away. It will be another round on the board for Kinguin, at least surviving for now. It's going to be likely a force buy up into the next round for Space Soldiers to try and fight things back.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Space Soldiers are a team that are incredibly deadly with these pistols. It wouldn't surprise me if we see a couple of Deagles maybe in play, but no, I think it'll be Calix to pick one up. UMPs tossed back and forth. Ultimately, I think a Major as well. We will be seeing UMPs in play. Everyone's got armor to play around with as well. And it's going to be a stack over at this A site. Now, Kinguin should probe for information before they go for anything. That's usually what you see on these ecos. It wouldn't surprise me if they take things very, very slowly, wait and see if Space Soldiers go aggressive, and then try and make something happen out towards one of these sites. The only thing is, if Space Soldiers don't give them anything to go off, then they will just have to head in blind.
Actually, 2 UMPs on the board, so not too bad in terms of investment. Mihu going to be completely blind. So Taras is just playing ridiculously well in this game. Paz going to get another one, as if it couldn't be going badly enough for this T side. Things are just about to get a little bit worse. Despe looking to go aggressively. Rallen will be able to get one back, at least getting the scoreline a little bit closer in terms of players. And Paz is actually still sat in A main looking for Mouse. We'll spot him out. Doesn't really need to go for any more aggression. They still have the advantage for now.
Oh, but then there's Rallen in mid. Rallen and Furlan between them find themselves 2 frags. Calix and Major, though, the Deagle brothers, still very much alive. And well, Major's over on this site. He finds a little bit of damage. That's going to be bombed down, and he's just going to play this passively. Doesn't opt to go for the repeat just yet. Now peeking wide is going to fall into the hands of Furlan. But they don't know where Calix is. He's going on a long flank and has himself an AK to play around with. Rallen's all the way down in mid. And if Furlan falls, this could be huge. Calix peeking out from A main isn't going to find anything just yet. And based on the angles they've cleared and how long it's taken, they should know Calix is coming in on the flank. They do know exactly that. They spot him out. He finds the first, but then the re-peek in from Furlan. That was uncomfortably close nonetheless, but Kinguin do pick it up. 4-13 now. Space Soldiers going to have to grit their teeth into this one and go for the hard eco.
Yeah, doing still an awful lot of damage. Mac 10's going to be purchased by Kinguin in order to try and make up some of the cash that they've just lost. Obviously, they need to actually have a decent bank because they want to be stringing a lot of rounds together in a row if they're going to have any chance of actually coming back into this map. Now, obviously, the winner of this does go on to face what is G2, although earlier I may have said Godsend. Still doing a little bit of damage. Calix will find one. There shouldn't be any hope for any more damage, although it comes close onto Mihu. And they will quickly dispatch of Space Soldiers in this round, but the buy is coming back up now. And, well, although it isn't the best, doesn't have any kits, we'll see whether or not there's enough on the other side. And interestingly, the Mac 10 is going to stay, but that's not too bad when you look at the fact that there's only one player, Zontares, with head armor.
There's still a lot of room for damage with that SMG. Now Furlan's going to try and play off the spawn, makes his way out towards mid, does find some damage, but going to be tagged down low from Despe. And now Space Soldier's going to fall on back, look to take things passively. The mid aggression didn't work for Kinguin, and already you can see it's going to put them on the back foot a little bit here. That was the advantage they needed to try and kickstart this, and instead Furlan's just going to be tagged down very low on the back of it. They've slowed things right down. They want to try and make something happen out towards mid. Now, interestingly enough, there's only one player here to watch mid, and that's Zontares. He gets spotted on out and has to relinquish control of it up to Kinguin for the time being. And once you get control of mid, you have so much free reign over so many areas of the map. They molly out vents. No one's going to be boosted up there, and that's going to deny the boost at that. But there are actually two players here. They might boost up once once the molly fades to try and catch these guys off guard, and they do. There is a player watching it. In the form of Morrison, there we go. That's the Mag 10 coming into effect. No head armor, not going to be able to save their lives. And Zontares finds one in mid, but then going to be traded out by Sparrow. 3 on 4. The man advantage going the way of Kinguin.
Yeah, now's a good opportunity to start building this one back. Making their way over towards this A site. There's only going to be Paz anywhere near the action rotation, looking to come in from Despe, but so much work for Paz to actually be doing. Now the nades are going to be thrown in. Well, Calix is absolutely nowhere near the action, and instantly Mouse ends his life, leaving just one. Despe up close and personal, no utility, no kit, no nothing, just has to try and play this one with his rifle, and Mouse is going to end his life too. 3 kills for him in this round. Calix is out of the action and should really just fade away. Not really any point in trying to challenge this one. Bomb going to go down, and now he's just got to try and keep his rifle for the next round.
Tom, do you see the comeback? Can you see it on the horizon? Oh, okay, Calix. Who's making it costly? Looking like he can potentially honor this M4. I think now they're really not going to want to go hunting for him, despite knowing where he is. Doesn't make sense for them to throw this much into ridding one M4 off of a solitary saving player. So that's going to be Kinguin picking up their 6th. Let's not forget, this was 2-13. When we headed into the second half. It's only been a couple of rounds and already Kinguin looking to have a fairly convincing start at least. We'll have plenty of money built up in their banks. We'll have to invest a little bit. As a result of losing 3 players into this one, Calix does save the M4 but doesn't have head armor, so they really can just afford to invest even UMPs into this round if they wanted to, as the rest of Space Soldiers will be ecoing.
Yeah, not a whole lot invested. Loss bonus will be maximum into the next round, and not really expecting too much. Maybe Calix can have a hero play. He has been doing very, very well. Him and Zontares right at the top of the board. More of what we expected in the previous map. Nade going to do a little bit of extra damage, but not anything that should be changing the process of the round. They are, however, going to boost up Calix. Now, this is an interesting way to start things off. He finds himself a first kill. Nice position from Paz as well. Going to add another. Already looking to pick himself up a rifle. He has Kevlar behind it as well. Now the rifle rotating in. Calix is going to get another. Really making that hero play work out. Bringing it down to what is a 2 versus 5. And they're isolated to the corners. Mihu with a nice shot will be able to get one back. At least making it possible. But Zontares with one. Mihu the challenge versus everybody else on Space Soldiers. And any hopes of a comeback seem to be shattered. With a, well, extra round win that shouldn't have been.
Yeah, Kinguin will have enough money to buy down though to try and stave off the Space Soldiers match point. The only issue is, if they lose this, then they will be reset for what could very well be the last round of the game and the series at that fact. And well, already we can see that they're going to be kickstarting this on the side of Kinguin by sending 3 players over towards A. Actually, not going to opt to boost anyone. Instead, just 2 in through main and 1 up through Squeaky, and trying to exert maybe a little bit of pressure out towards mid as Ralin now does double on back. Smoke is going to be down to deny him presence there for the time being. And Kinguin, they're starting things off slowly. Space Soldiers know they're 2 rounds away from taking this, 1 from match point. So all the pressure really now going to be on the side of the Polish as they try and maintain their T side.
The money still going to be there for the CT side going into the next round. It's not going to be the best case scenario if they lose it, but the T's are really going to be the ones suffering. They need to pull off this round. Once again, we're going to see this boost, this time with an AWP. Now, it was pulled in into the last round, so if something goes wrong again, if they lose a player again to this, I think they're going to be quite worried. Only going to be Calyx actually towards backbox on B. The rest of the team are just going to be heading further and further over towards the A side. Decent positioning. Zontares with the headshot starts things off. Beginning of the end may be nigh, as this is the split. One player, Michu, going to find one. Doesn't quite manage to get the second, but it's still going to be trades, and they're favoring this T side once again. Calyx on the rotation, hoping that maybe Despe can find a pick in the meantime. Otherwise, it is looking like the reset will be coming closer towards Space Soldiers. Doesn't quite hit the shot. That should have been it. The cross was just handed to him. He's unable to connect. Now Calyx pushing back in. Actually going to go through Squeaky. Can he find Ralin? At least going to damage him down a little bit. Is getting shot through the wall as well. And this is looking ever more unlikely.
Yep, Ferlin is there. Down goes Calyx. It's all on Despe, and this round going to be going the way of Kinguin. Despe, oh my god, just makes it out through mid. Luckily enough, he has the movement of a god to carry him through. Dodges the stream of bullets, and that's going to be Kinguin there to pick up their 7th. Now only 7 rounds behind that of Space Soldiers. The economic reset isn't going to come in if Despe lives. They will have enough money to buy up into the next round. He can drop a UMP over to Major. Everyone else can have enough cash to buy up. So there we go. Pause going to be called in. Interesting move here by Space Soldiers, giving a lot of respect the way of Kinguin, not wanting to risk throwing anything away. They have struggled on their CT side, only picking up 1 round in amongst the 5 that have been in amongst the 6, sorry, that have been played. 5 rounds going the way of Kinguin, who currently looking like they could still forge the comeback of dreams.
Yeah, I'm interested by the MAC-10. Now, obviously, in this round, I'm expecting a buy-up from Space Soldiers. I think with the amount of money they have, not going to get anything better into the next round anyway. So to not invest would be a very odd decision to make. But what that means is, if you look at the MAC-10 in play, obviously there's a few players without head armor, but it's still quite a risky buy. I think they have assumed that there's not going to be as much on the other side, whereas in fact, there's actually quite a bit. It's going to be a decent buy. As you said, we're going to have a UMP dropped over to Major, and the rest of the players are just going to buy back up with utility and everything in place. So unless this is intentionally to counter just Kevlar and no head armor, you have to wonder why Sparrow's actually pulled that into this round. And if they do lose, and he's partly to blame, you'd have to wonder if that's actually going to cost them the game. They're not doing too well on economy anyway, I understand that. But this is still a risky play.
There you go, we're going to be seeing a boost employed. Calyx up in the vents to watch mid. Does have Sparrow up close and personal with that MAC-10. Now Calyx doesn't have head armor, so he is going to be at the mercy of that submachine gun. Sparrow's going to get spotted though, and down he goes now. Calyx looking to just fade away. They've secured the man advantage. Now going to retreat back into checkers. Zontares peeking mid is going to fall at the hands of Mihu. Equalize back out into a 4-on-4 now, and already Kinguin debating whether or not B is going to be the right choice to make. They know there's 2 players here. As for the other guys over towards A, no clue just yet. They're actually going to return to this boost once again. Calyx up in the vents. They think he has fallen on back, but Major just going to lend him the helping hand to boost him up there. Mihu, as he pushes out through mid, could fall prey to this boost. He is going to check it, and all down goes Calyx. Now this B site going to be right for the taking. The rotate coming on in fast and thick from Paz. Major want to find one, but now he's trapped In checkers, doesn't matter. He's putting the UMP to work, finds himself a second, and then pass to 5 Mouse. It's all on Mihu, and down he goes to Despe on the late rotate. Space Soldiers welcome to match point, 7-15.
It will have to be a buy up for the T side. They're not going to be doing too badly. A couple of players will be able to pick up the rifles, maybe even 3. But then that's going to be it. The rest will be on pistols. Quite a bit of utility, and Roland hasn't bought any armor. Now that is questionable to say the least. I don't know if he did that intentionally. I don't think he did. He bought his nades instead, and this is a weird play to be making. I would actually prefer that he then gave that over to Mihu and then took the Tech 9 for himself. But this is going to mean they're so vulnerable to these nades at the moment, and I wonder if he's even realized.
Oh, they say that armor is all in the mind, not in the game. So he thinks he has armor, and that's all that matters. Now the push going to be coming on in. And already Major capitalizing on this position in checkers. Finds one. Is going to be smoked off. Calyx on the side. They're going to get the full mercy of Mouse as he goes down. It's a 4-on-4 ensuing. Bomb's going to get planted. Major's still alive somehow. And oh, Zentares gets caught out in the open. He might fall at the hands of Mouse. That's going to be the man advantage now in favor of Kinguin, who aren't ready to give this up just yet. Major's still in their backlines, though. Still in towards checkers. And still a huge threat they've got to worry about. Paz making his way in through CT. Despe's already holding a very passive angle. I think thinking about saving the AWP in this scenario, just waiting to see if either Paz or Major can open this up, and Ferlin on the flank going to be dropped at the hands of Despace. This position does pay off for them. With Bomb ticking away, it doesn't like the save going to be in question. Paz able to get one, but then the trade comes through from Mouse, and now Major's trapped. He's going to fall. Despe to save. It will be Kinguin to pick up their 8. 8-15 now as they stave off and stay in this another day.
Still going to be very costly, though, for Kinguin. They actually lose another player to the bomb at the end, meaning that they are just going to have to buy down every single penny that they have. Now, I wonder how much is actually going to be invested by Space Soldiers. They're only getting 1,900 into the next round anyway, so the amount that they'll get isn't going to be anything too crazy, and they could even be in a sort of double eco position, but they're not going to invest. They're going to keep things rolling. They're going to keep... AWP is the one sort of glimmer of hope, and you can see the aggressive way that the push is coming in for Despe. Caught out, blinded. We'll have to fade back, but actually going to go for the repeat and will catch out Mouse. Decent start to the round, however, the push has in the meantime gone in. Major doesn't have any armor, so he'll lose his life as well. Does hit the dink onto Spiro, hoping to make things at least a little bit more costly. Zontares with nothing will fall. And, well, looking like Despe may just opt to save this AWP into the next round. Not really any reason to challenge versus 4.
Yeah, Roland wants to go on the hunt. It's going to fall to the hands of Despe. They want to try and take the AWP out of his hands if possible. I mean, he hasn't really had too much of an impact. If you look at it, 9 frags right now, which in comparison to the rest of his team, he is definitely falling behind. Perhaps a lot of that coming down to the fact that we haven't really seen him have the AWP all too much, or the fact that Space Soldiers kind of find all the frags before he even gets his foot in the door. So, I mean, right now he's on 2 frags. He has been someone to lock this down when it comes down to it. So Calyx are going to try and hold on to the AK, just waiting to see if the aggression comes out. And Osprey going to be the first man around the corner, going on the hunt. He's hiding behind Ice Cream. We go for the spray, and that's going to be Calyx to go down. Despe should be able to hold on to the AWP, unless these guys can teleport, which I really hope they can't. And that'll be a 9th for Kinguin.
Now we get to see what sort of investment's actually going to come in this round for Space Soldiers. It did look like a double eco position, and while it is, they're just going to invest a little bit into pistols going into the next round. It could be another AWP for Despe anyway, so it may not be the worst case scenario. He gets another attempt at trying to challenge versus these players on B. A lot of utility used just to try and catch him out early on as they want to take control, but they have actually left a little bit of a gap, but that will be countered by the Molotov. In terms of the rest of the players over on the CT side, quite heavy in terms of their A control. And a little bit of a peek coming out from Calyx into Z.
Oh, Paz is just going to be dodging bullets for the time being. 3 players pushed up in towards A main. Through the wall, trying to find some chance damage. Can't quite connect it, so they will escape unscathed for the most part. Now falling on back. Calyx to watch mid. That's Major coming around as well. I think they're going to boost over the top of the smoke, and this might allow Calyx to find something If they do decide to boost one of these players up or make their way on out, he's going to be in a great place to try and shut this down. If Mihu goes to the spray, though, alternatively could easily mop up a couple of frags. And there we go. The Shroud of Smoke falls away, and Despay falls over at B. The AWP not playing into this round whatsoever. Now the push going to be underway as Kinguin just pour into this B site. Space Soldiers have rotated around. Major's going to be on the AWP. Calix finds one with the Deagle, but then it finds a second as well. Going to get quickly traded out by Mouse as it's a 3v2. This B bomb site just going to be opened up. Calix on the Deagle able to get 2 frags, but that was it. Now Paz and Zentares to try and clutch.
Not a whole lot of clean rounds coming in for this T side. And I want to try and at least keep the remaining 3 players going, but never mind. Zentares has other ideas. 1 for him, leaving it back to a 2 versus 2. They don't have a kit, so the likelihood of them winning the round is slim to none. But they can at least make things very, very costly for the remaining Ts. Paz going to go peeking. Obviously, there's still an AWP actually on the floor. Zentares is going to pick up an AK, so making things ever more possible. And actually, maybe this is just doable. It's down to just Furlan, and he will clutch things out. But this is too close for a round that was just dedicated to pistols for Space Soldiers. Now they buy. And actually, well, tech problem for Kinguin. They're still not in a position to really be talking about that comeback, even if they have got 8 rounds so far on this T side.
I mean, I think King would have had a really good showing on their T side at least. Space Soldiers having some huge issues of trying to adjust to it, but that round there has kind of shown how strong Space Soldiers have been looking. They take it down into a 1v1 there at the end, and ultimately Fern's a 1v2. Sorry, Fern is able to clutch it out, but that was just on the back of a great individual play. Thing is, we have to see those consistent individual plays coming out from Kinguin if they want to maintain this on their T side. Now, I think to find 8, they've done a very good job, and Space Soldiers definitely having a bit of a tough time with things on their CT side. So I wouldn't rule out the potential for overtime just yet, Tom, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, whether or not you think Space Soldiers are just going to be able to pick this up because they only have to find 1, or if the comeback is going to be possible here from Kinguin.
The thing is, there's been so many like very, very close rounds, especially in the last few, like what the 1v1, and also just in the last round where there was only a couple, like 1 player surviving. I think eventually Space Soldiers have to take it. I don't think that they're going to lose this game. The problem is, the further this goes, obviously the more likely it comes, just because the numbers get smaller, but also because just the mentality of Space Soldiers, it will creep into their head, just like we're throwing this away. In this scenario, I think just because of the nature of the economy, I hope at least mentality-wise they're not in a position like that as of yet. And, well, soon they're going to start getting recurring buys just based on the loss bonus. And I reckon that there's not much of a chance that they won't be able to win 1. Just with players like Calix and Zentares at the top of the board, the likelihood is that won't happen. Despay has been very, very quiet, though, which is quite scary, considering he is the AWPer for the team, and a lot of the time they're the ones who take control of the rounds.
Yeah, I mean, well, just look at the difference, right? Sparrow's been the player picking up the AWP for Kinguin, and he's currently 18-17. Despay, on the other hand, 9-13. Bottom of the board for Space Soldiers. So yeah, very, very weak performance from him, which I think is a damn shame. He's going to be back on the AWP, though, this time. The buy from Kinguin going to be less than ideal. As you can see, Sparrow's relegated down to just that tech. Everyone else, they're going to have pretty much all they would need. No AWP in sight, though. Just rifles to play around with. Plenty of utility, and this is it. All or nothing here for Kinguin. They have to try and hold back the Turkish beast.
Does Sparrow really only have a Tech 9? That is interesting. Considering the rounds as well, you'd expect him to have a little bit more. Not a whole lot of utility currently over on that CT side, so not the best buy in the world, but they do have that AWP. Zentares will just about win the first duel. Calix actually looking to sort of peek over at the moment. The Molotov not going to push him out. He is going to spot a roll, and the aggression paying off. He will even be able to fall back around the Molotov, but in the meantime, Furlan has found a pick. 4 versus 2. It's down to Furlan and Mouse to try and clutch this one out. Mouse been the star of the show for Kinguin in this matchup. Furlan will be able to get the first, but he's so low on HP. Just 10 impact. He's not going to spot out Paz. Now Mouse, he's going to have to hit the magic number 28 if they want to stay in this game. He is going to go peeking round into A main. Despay is holding the angle. He's got support from Paz. This should be it. Done and dusted, and it is. Space Soldiers, a phenomenal T side. They will be there to close things out. And, well, it's just not possible for any sort of comeback to be available over on that T side.
Yeah, 3 fantastic maps, and that does mean that Space Soldiers will be going into the next stage, playing up against G2, and that's going to be going on at some point in the future that I'm not entirely sure yet. But, you know, we'll be sure to keep you posted both on the Starladder Twitter and on mine and Tom's personal Twitters, which you can go ahead and follow by putting !casters in chat if you've enjoyed it. A quick shout out to all of you guys who have been here throughout the whole thing. Just a quick little hello. And, I mean, I'll read a couple of names just to make you guys happy because I know that you love it. We got Medicalo Hunter, Agzugaz Official, Joe Not Sure, Derek 1, B Campbell 31, Besha. Oh, okay, we got some good names. Ghost Assassin 007. Shut the Fox Up.
Ooh.
That was good.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh, I was wondering where you go with that one.
Moldy, I wouldn't read it if it was not PG-13. Guardian _35, Jadeko, I'm going to notice you because you said time to notice us, Caster, a couple of rounds ago, and you were nearly there. I am _T1, T4, what a good name. Collent TV, Popacy 94, Chakilla, Rocket Rock, Zantaras, the budget Zantaras in chat, and just a bunch of other people. Observation with Cheese, Pathetic Soda. That's like an Xbox Live auto-generated name. Yes, my name is Benjamin. What a name!
I like Observation with Cheese.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite name in the chat at the moment.
D Tyrone, I promise I'm not. I promise I'm a nice guy. But yeah, that's going to be it from us tonight. If you have enjoyed it, like I said, go ahead and follow us up both on Twitter. I'll be sure to mess up some more iconic locations. Yeah, more tilted than the Eiffel Tower. There's plenty of that. Go ahead and check. Oh, hang on, wait, just a quick one. Just Jordan. His casters suck butt. Thank you, dude, for the continued support and love.
We love you too.
It means a lot, man. It means a lot. But there we go, guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you all again.